What's up, guys? It's your boy Power. Oh my god, that was terrible. Hold on. What's up, guys? It's your boy Power Rush here, back with our week 4 team builder today versus my boy Metal. His YouTube will be linked in the description down below in the battle. And this is for UGL. Currently, we are 3-1 right now with a +7 differential. So hopefully we get a win this week, get back on track from last week's game. If you haven't checked that out, definitely go check it out. That's my boy KJ. We went up against, but let's try to get back on track this week, man. We got a rough one. Another steal flying, and this one is worse than the other one because it's harder to break. So it's a little bit more versatile as well, but hopefully we can get through it. And without further ado, let's get to the team. So as you can see, his team will be to my right here. Let me check real quick. Boom, perfect. The team will be to the right, and he has Corviknight, Weavile, Diggersby, Haxorus, Jellicent, Ninetales, Vikavolt, Girder, Vileplume, Wigglytuff, and Sigilyph. So the plan is to basically wall break and pivot around with Incineroar, Espeon, and Rillaboom. Get in my Alolan Exeggutor and just let Alolan Exeggutor go to work. Alolan Exeggutor and Grassy Terrain goes to work against his entire team. It outspeeds Corviknight. Terrain Pulse into Flamethrower KOs the Corviknight. Physically defensive Corviknight. Weavile is getting beat by anything if it switches hard into it. Diggersby is. Haxorus doesn't want to switch into a Draco. Jellicent gets bopped by Terrain Pulse. Ninetales doesn't want to take a Draco. Vikavolt doesn't want to take anything, Flamethrower or Draco. Girder doesn't want to take anything. Vileplume doesn't want to take a Flamethrower or Draco. Wigglytuff, you get the picture. But that's basically the plan. If we could chip or we could KO the Corviknight or / get rid of the Weavile, then our Hawlucha just wins at that point. So that's the plan for right now. And then also I will be willingly trade Weavile. I will willingly trade Hawlucha for Weavile in this game 100%. I will willingly trade Weavile for Hawlucha 100% of the time, because Weavile is kind of a bit of a problem. So is Haxorus, but we could deal with Haxorus a little bit better than we could deal with Weavile, I believe. Just because of the team that we're bringing. So without further ado, let's actually get to our team. Now, as we start off with the boy Gideon, the Hawlucha. This week we're bringing Grassy Seed, so we get that +1 defense on mons like the Weavile and also the Haxorus and the Diggersby. So we're bringing Close Combat, Acrobatics, Thunder Punch, and SD. With this set in particular, we can do big damage to his team for 1, but 2, if we get an SD up, if we force a switch, get an SD up or anything like that, say like he's banded Weavile and he's locked in a knockoff, then we could just get a free SD up and win the game from there. If we SD and he switches into Corviknight, and Corviknight say it's like at 50 something %, then we SD and we win the game right there. Like, there's a good amount of ways to win the game in particular that we can do. We just need chip on some things to go around with the team. And Hawlucha can honestly just sweep up. I don't plan on bringing Hawlucha out anytime in the middle of the game or anything like that. It's purely just to sweep up the rest of his team, get some cleanup kills and stuff like that. Espeon's here to do the opposite. On his team too, he doesn't really have very good switches to Specs Espeon except for Bandit First Impression Haxorus, and uh, Corviknight defensively, and then Weavile for immunity. That's pretty much it of what he has. Because Specs Espeon runs through his team, absolutely runs through his entire team. Uh, Running 76 HP, max special attack, and then 180 speed, Timid Nature, just to outspeed Ninetales. Also, the Halucha set was also to outspeed Ninetales as well. We were running max attack on that. But this Espeon set, Psychic Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam hits the majority of his team for neutral or super effective damage. And Trick is there for if I could trick a Specs on the Weavile, that helps out with potentially getting an SD on Halucha, depending on how he wants to play it. If I choice Specs to Corviknight, helps out a lot in that retrospect. If I choice Specs to Haxorus, helps out a lot in that retrospect. So I could kind of gauge and point out which mon I think he's going to go into, and then we can go from there. But most likely it's going to be the Corviknight. I could trick that and get into his choice specs, and that will kind of neutralize it for the rest of the game. And it has to choose between roosting, defogging, whatever. But neutralizing that Corviknight is going to be big. Also neutralizing that Weavile is going to be huge as well. Next up we have our Rillaboom, which is our boy Hotch. We are bringing Hotch back this week because grassy terrain is needed. And also, grassy terrain helps with Rillaboom revenge killing some of these mons. So, in theory, we outspeed Weavile, we OHKO it with Grassy Glide. If it does come to that. Since we're Scarf and we're faster than it. Because I don't think he's going to bring Scarf Weavile this game. Scarf Weavile just doesn't hit hard enough in this game, so he either needs to bring Bandit or Life Orb SD. Those are the two sets that I think he 100% has to bring. If he doesn't bring those, then I don't know. He might even be Adrenaline Orb. Is it Adrenaline Orb? Maybe Adrenaline Orb. I'm not sure, but those two sets I think he's gonna bring on Weavile. Knockoff is there just to knock off items in general. If I get a knockoff on Corv, then my Alolan Exeggutor has a good chance to KO with Flamethrower, if that's the case, but most likely I'm just going to U-turn all the time on Rillaboom, if that's the case. U-turn all the time on Rillaboom, because that just does work. Chipping things down, I don't have rocks this game, so chipping things down, getting good U-turns off on all these mons. Whenever I get a chance to bring Rillaboom in, I just U-turn and go on to my other mons. It also helps with getting recovery on my mons as well. So that's gonna make the difference in this game. Getting that recovery, and then also having grassy terrain for Alolan Exeggutor. So Rillaboom's more of a utility mon this week, but hopefully it can do some work here and there. It does work against a Jellicent. Adamant U-turn is going to be super strong against a lot of these guys, preferably against Weavile and Haxorus. It's going to be huge. And then Grassy Glide knockoff Drain Punch is going to be huge as well, to do some big damage to these guys as well. So Rillaboom also helps neutralize the Earthquakes, both from Haxorus and from Diggersby. So those two are going to be huge. 252 Adamant Nature, 52 Defense, just so we can live some hits, possibly from the Corviknight, the Weavile, the Diggersby, and the Haxorus. And then 204 Speed, so we could outspeed Jolly Diggersby, I believe. I think this outspeeds Jolly Diggersby. I could be wrong, but we could see. Rillaboom, Diggersby. Make sure we did this correctly. Yep, we outspeed Adamant Diggersby with the Scarf. We outspeed Adamant Diggersby with the Scarf. So we are good. We are good. because I don't think he's gonna run Scarf Diggersby um, to this game. To be honest, I really don't think he's gonna bring Diggersby purely off the fact that I have a lot of things that could just kill it. Um, the only reason they would bring it is because of priority. Um, but yeah, I don't think he's gonna bring Diggersby this game. If he does, then I'm not sure what he's gonna do with it. But if he doesn't, then I understand. Next up, we got the boy, the man himself. We have Alolan Executor here this week. Rillaboom gets a U-turn. Out comes the threat. Alolan Executor is here to poke holes in my opponent's team. Life Orb, Frisk, Terrain Pulse, Flamethrower, Draco Meteor, Sleep Powder does work to his entire team. It's disgusting. If I give a Sleep Powder off on one of his mons, I put it to sleep. Boom. Perfect. I force a switch, I get a Sleep Powder off on any one of his mons. It's perfect for my team. We're rocking. God, what's the name? What's the name of this guy? Rossi. Rossi's the name of this guy. We're rocking out with Rossi, big long neck Rossi. Here, 4 HP, 4 defense, 252 special attack, 4 special defense, and 244 speed to outspeed. What's the mon on his team that I need to outspeed? To outspeed. Outspeed a little bit of speed Corv, and also outspeed max speed Vikavolt. If he wants to run like max 8, if he wants to run max special attack, max speed Vikavolt, modest nature, Alolan Executor outspeeds that always. I don't want to get on the off chance where if he does run that and just bops me, then I'll be screwed. So bring enough speed for that is good. This also outspeeds Jellicent. It also outspeeds like little to no speed Jellicent. Also outspeeds Corviknight, which is huge in this particular game. And it should outspeed any sort of Wigglytuff or Vileplume set that is to come. And I bop those with Flamethrower, Terrain Pulse, and Draco. And if I gotta put something to sleep, then that's a bet in itself. Like Flamethrower, I'll show y'all, I'll tell y'all a calc right now. The Alolan Executor with Life Orb, modest Flamethrower to a Vileplume, to a defensive Vileplume. It does 87 to 101. Draco's doing a little bit more, but hey, it's Draco. It's stab, and plus it's also base like 1 something. But if it does come to that, and Vileplume is like chipped down a little bit, we could hit it with a Flamethrower, kill it, and it should be fine. I want to go for Draco. I don't want to go for Draco unless it's like a guaranteed kill, because that gives leeway to some of the other mons on his team. For instance, it gives leeway to set up with Weavile. It gives way to set up with Haxorus. If I do go for Draco on some of these mons. So mainly this mon is going to be coming in and spamming Terrain Pulse and Flamethrower the entire game. So that's the plan, and once we can guarantee a Draco kill, then we should be good. We should be good. The next mon we have up is probably our most important mon of the week. Incineroar. This Incineroar has to deal with his main threats all the time, all the place, every day of the week, all the time. This will probably be our lead. In this match, if he leads Vikavolt, then I could taunt it, Flamethrower it, do whatever I need to. Shut up, alarm. We're running leftovers this week because his only Stealth Rocker is Wigglytuff, and while I could see Wigglytuff coming, I don't think it's gonna come. My monsters put too much pressure on it. But Incineroar does a ton of work this week. We're running Flamethrower, Knockoff, Taunt, and Parting Shot. Taunt is for setup Core, setup Weavile, setup Haxorus. Parting Shot is for the Haxorus and the Weavile, just so we could get some um, like lessen their attack. And then Parting Shot's just there for pivoting as well. Knockoff for knocking off all the items that the opponent has. And then Flamethrower is specifically there because I feel like he needs to run physically defensive Corviknight this week, and that honestly helps in consistency, because if he does want to run like some sort of bulk upset, for instance, if he runs like a sub bulk upset, I don't have to worry about taking recoil with Flamethrower. I don't have to worry about mirror armor with Intimidate coming back to me, and things like that. And if he's physically defensive Corviknight, then I'm doing 41 to 50. So after I get a little chip off, I have the potential to 2 KO it with a little bit of chip. So that's gonna be the good thing with Incineroar. We're running 244 HP, 100 defense, so we could take a low kick from Weavile. I've been calculating low kick, but probably Brick Break does a lot of damage too, and not sure how I feel about that. In all honesty, because he might bring Brick Break purely off the fact that I've brought like Clay Espeon, but we'll see. I don't know how. God, Showdown does it to where like, yeah. So low kick's doing 41 to 49. If we were to do Brick Break, yeah, Brick Break's doing less. So Brick Break after Intimidate is doing less, and we still get guaranteed leftovers. So we should be fine if that's the case. And plus, if we're in grassy terrain, that makes it a lot better in the calcs for us. So let's see. There we go. Back to his team. So yeah, Incineroar is going to be very, very pivotal this week. Because he doesn't have really a lot to deal with it. I feel like that's the only reason why he would bring Jellicent this week, is because to deal with Incineroar. That's the only reason I feel like he would bring Jellicent at all this week. So yeah, I feel like that's the only reason he would bring some sort of Jelly. Even though Jelly has a super bad matchup, I think, against me. But hey, we'll see. Last but not least, we have the boy Spence. You don't know how bad I want to run Liquid Ooze this week, because he has Strength Sap Jellicent. He can run Giga Drain Jellicent. He can run Giga Drain Jellicent to take advantage of the terrain. He can run Giga Drain Vileplume. He can run Strength Sap Vileplume. I couldn't bring it to myself and let Tentacruel be affected by webs, because my whole thing with his team is to outspeed his team. So webs being on the field is probably the last thing that I want at all. The last thing I want is for webs to be on the field. I don't need that. I don't need that at all. I need webs to not be on the field the entire game. So that's why we're leading Incineroar, and we're getting a chance to spin away webs if possible. But if he does bring webs, unbikeable. But we're running Black Slush this week with Clear Body, with Scald, Ice Beam, Haze, and Spin. Haze is for the Corviknight, so that it doesn't set up. Like, I don't want this Corviknight to set up at all. I don't want any sort of setup to happen this week against these two mons. I really want to bring Knockoff so I could get a Jelly for the Jellicent, but I just couldn't see myself bringing it, and and letting Corviknight just set up in front of Tentacruel like that seems really not worth it in my opinion. But we're running 252 HP, 68 defense, and 188 speed, bold nature to outspeed is it Jolly Diggersby? It's Jolly Diggersby. We're outspeeding it to outspeed Jolly Diggersby this week because we could basically deal with the rest of his threats if that's the case. So we should be good on that front. But guys, this is the team. This is the team that we are bringing this week. If you were excited, if you are hype, smash that like button down below for me because you already know the support is greatly appreciated. And guys, I will see you in the battle in a little bit. Love y'all. Peace.